Hello. So this is the final scene for this one-shot campaign, Rise of the Necromancer. This is the scene that I built for it. I just wanted to highlight a few things real quick, and then I will go into what our adventurers did. I wanted to make this look almost like the center of a mountain or volcano. And this is where the Soul Cairn is, and he's doing his ritual to capture all the souls and make his undead army. And so I made it look a little bit rocky, like the center of a volcano. I added lights and lava to make it look like it was still a little active, but not exploding. Perfect place for the ending to take place. I used 3 12x12 base plates and kind of had our adventurers come in here, start here, and then you can see he's kind of made this plateau of sorts where he's capturing all the souls and creating the storm that is taking place below the mountain in the town and the village. So, as I said in my last video, our adventurers kind of skipped the wraiths by distracting them and grabbing or touching the teleport from the sorcerer's tower directly to the Soul Cairn. And this is the area. As soon as our adventurers warped here, they warped right there where the purple teleporter pad is. They're met with a horrifying scene. As they can see, he's up here, blocked in by a death shield that his minions or followers, as you can see, he's got 5 followers that are enhancing his power or protecting him. So our characters are not able to do any damage to him currently because of this death shield. There are also several groups of skeleton warriors or lost souls of his undead army, and as soon as he sees them teleport in, he tells them to take their souls for him. So one of our characters actually used the cantrip and repelled minions and repelled undead. This allowed all of the skeleton warriors to kind of freeze in place, kind of confused on why they couldn't or didn't want to attack our players as they came into the scene. He had to keep doing this over and over during the whole course of the combat scene. And once he was doing this, our mage put a force field or protection spell on him so that nothing could damage him while he was performing this cantrip. And then the 2 of them decided to move forward in closer to the Necromancer. They did take 1 shot at the Necromancer, and because he had the death shield, that damage repelled back to the person who sent the fireball. He was trying to actually take out the tower that the Necromancer was on, but that was also protected. So once they figured out that they can't really touch him until they take out these 5 minions. So the minions were actually kind of busy. They were busy doing a ritual to enhance the Necromancer's power. And by doing this, they weren't really paying attention to our characters. So our stealthy character snuck around and they started taking out these 5 characters one by one. And once they took the final Necromancer's minions down, this released the death shield that he had around him. And they were actually able to attack the Necromancer from behind. When they attacked him from behind, he did try to phase shift to somewhere else, but ultimately failed to do this. And then our characters took out the Necromancer. Once they took out the Necromancer, a dark black cloud of smoke rose up from his body and disappeared into the sky. And all of the rest of the minions, the skeletal warriors that were kind of stunned by the cantrip being said, actually dissipated and disappeared. And all the souls that he had captured thus far had disappeared as well. So our characters finally had defeated the Necromancer who was causing so much damage and harm to the town folks below. They decided at this point to head back to camp and pick up the rest of their gear and then maybe head back into town for a well-earned pint and see the townsfolk and let them know that they had taken care of all the problems that the town seemed to have been having. So here we are back at the original pub on the water, where they originally got this quest from, and met the very friendly townsfolk. So our characters made their way back to the pub, and as they were going inside, the door was wide open. They went inside, and unfortunately, they came to a very gruesome scene as all the characters' souls had been ripped from their bodies. And what I did is I took all the faces off the minifigs here and put blank faces on them. I had a character being chained up to the wall with his eyes burned out. As you can see here, he was chained up, and there was a blood-splattered note left on the wall of the pub for our characters. And written in blood on the wall next to the body hanging there was, "You have taken from me a trusted vessel. I am the underling and I will have my revenge." So it's basically left the story open for our little spooky one-shot, Rise of the Necromancer, and it left it open for maybe another session. Because now the underling is not really defeated. Maybe he was just using that Necromancer as a vessel. And now he's going to find another vessel in another town. And that's pretty much how our story ended in our little one-shot session. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed building the different scenes. You know, they're not the best, but I do what I can with the parts that I have. But I tried to create all these different scenes for them to explore and find goodies and actually have a physical thing to look at and adventure in. And I think this really helped with our campaign. We're looking at some other options. Of course, using Lego is, to me, awesome because you can do so much with this stuff and make it look any way you want. So far, I've only done a few one-shots, and it all started with the D&D Red Dragon's Tale. That's the first one-shot that I did. that I actually enjoyed making these Lego scenes and, you know, creating this story. And I'm looking at some other one-shots off the D&D site that maybe I could build some of those scenes to create, once again, another fun game night for my players and the characters, and we'll see how that goes. So I hope you've enjoyed this little one-shot Rise of the Necromancer and the videos. Please feel free to leave any comments or suggestions. I do try to read any comments that are left and answer. And once again, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Bye.